here. We have, let's do Celeste. Haven't heard from Celeste in a while.
What's
All right,
up?
you said you believe in equal rights for women.
Yes.
Okay, cool. The reality of dating as a sex worker, especially if you're dating a non-sex worker, have you had that experience? Wow, that split
yes.
is fucked up.
I've dated, majority of the men I've dated have not been sex workers. Like I've
it's
never
broad-
really
is it-
honestly dated another guy that does
It's a problem for them?
OnlyFans or anything. Huh? It's a problem?
Is it a problem for them, the guys?
No, because going into it, they know what I do.
Yeah.
So it's like not like a surprise to them. But also I'm very respectful. Like I don't force anyone into making content with me. It's just my thing. It's my gig. You know, if you want to do with me, you can. But like, you know, so it's never like really an issue because I don't, you know, like no one's forced in anything. But.
Well, has it become a problem like down the road in your relationships?
I would say yes and no. Yes, because financially a lot of the guys don't like how much I make compared to them.
Why would they not like it?
How much do you
Because
make?
it can be emasculating. How much do I make? That's a kind of a personal.
Will you tell
It's a very
us,
personal question,
please?
but I make a very
Please?
good amount of money.
It's not it's not as personal as her butthole though.
No, it's not. No, it's not. You can see that online.
Does it say like six?
For $5 a month.
Yes, sir.
And she'll show you her tattoos for 10.
Can you give
Yes.
us a
It
higher
actually,
or lower?
I think it is
higher or
$5 a
lower?
month.
Yeah.
Or
100K a year.
Higher.
$1 million a year.
Okay, that's pretty close.
Damn.
I'm not gonna exclude
But the fact that you
what
had to
I
think about it.
what I make, but I'm blessed. I'll say that I'm very blessed. But
Wow.
I've worked a long time on what I do and stuff, and I didn't recently start making very, very good money until like 2 years, and I've been doing it for like 4.
you said that you disagree greatly that people shouldn't. Wait, so that's a double negative. You disagree greatly that people shouldn't be looked down upon for. Wait, so then you do think people should be looked down upon for doing sex work? Wait,
don't.
Wait, hold on. Help me parse
think
this.
that
Hold on, wait, hold on. Help me parse this. She said, I disagree greatly that people shouldn't be looked down upon for doing sex work.
Yeah.
So people.
that's a double
should
negative.
People should be looked down upon. That's what.
So because if you,
shouldn't.
but
Shouldn't.
you disagree greatly that so you disagree
I'm
that
dyslexic.
people
It was
shouldn't.
probably a typo, but
Be looked-
what I mean
So then,
is
people should be looked down upon for doing sex work.
they shouldn't is what I'm
You meant
saying.
that
But I
what
meant
you
to say
intended- what you
was
intended to say.
shouldn't.
There's a moment. There's the
They
moment.
shouldn't-
There's a moment of humiliation you just did. You knew what she meant. See? You want an example. I brought it up.
I'm
There we
a
go.
toxic misogynist.
You're just a horrible person.
I'm a
But-
terrible person.
And also saying that, I can completely understand from people who don't do it. I can
You
understand.
got to speak straight into the mic.
I can understand the judgment and stuff, and it's a very taboo thing still. So
Would you date somebody who works at McDonald's?
yes,
You would?
I would. Honestly, I would if they had like goals in their life and stuff.
No,
and this is
they
just
don't have
their-
goals.
Okay,
Let's
well,
assume
if they
they
don't. If they don't have goals in their life, then probably not. Because that's a thing that I
Okay.
expect in my partner to have goals
Well,
and
let me ask you a
aspirations,
question.
just like I do.
Is it
more than just
looking-
OnlyFans.
Is it looking down on a girl to refuse to date her because she does
No,
OnlyFans?
I think that's preference.
Okay, so what?
I mean, I don't think you should look down on them, but I think if you don't want to date someone because they do OnlyFans, I think that's valid.
Let me ask you a question. What if somebody has an OnlyFans, but they're, I don't know if I want to throw y'all under the bus
What?
on this.
Do it.
But she's dating a high
What if
value
they're
man.
like, in furtherance of making money, they're lying to their customer base to fleece and siphon more money from them? Would that be justified reason for like a normie to look down on a sex worker? Because they're essentially committing a fraud on their audience.
I'm not really quite, like, are you saying like if they said that they weren't with someone and then they were?
Well,
or
for
what are you
example, a
saying?
lot of girls offer what they call a girlfriend experience.
Yeah.
But,
GFE, I know, but
right, but I don't know if I want to like, cause
Oh, he's talking about you. All right, let's hear it. Come on, out with it.
but
But I think the men who are
Unfollow,
paying
go
for it
there.
know that it's not real, though. It's the feeling that they're looking for.
I don't know
There's
about
some,
that.
okay, here, I won't say what I was originally going to say, but I will say, like, some girls will not make it clear that they're offering it's just a girlfriend experience, but the dude's never going to fuck them. The girls will actually lead the guys on into thinking that
they actually
they
are.
have the girl has some desire for the man, when it couldn't be anything further from the truth. They, in all probability, actually have a boyfriend, which they keep private from their OnlyFans customers and clients because that would hurt their bottom line. And they are basically will fleece their customers under the guise of like, oh, I want to have a relationship with you, but that will never ever happen. Would that be pretext and justification for a man to look down on a sex worker and be like, you're preying on these men who are desirous of having a relationship with you, but you're really just using them for their money?
I mean,
Or do you think
honestly-
that's justified behavior from sex workers?
Listen, dude, she already says she's dyslexic. Why you gotta ask her
Yeah, I know, right?
complex questions? Her
Yeah, I'm
brain's
like,
hurting.
could you put it to the base?
I think
or
that was
something?
pretty
Give it-
simple,
I
but-
don't know. There's like so many.
I told you, you were losing her.
Basically, I
Said in
think
that-
he's trying to say, like, there tends to be a lot of manipulation and deception involved in
Like if-
fleecing dudes as a sex worker. So, like, strippers are notorious for, hey, baby, there was that South Park episode
Yeah.
with Raisins, the Raisins girls. Hey, welcome to Raisins. Like, you pretend like you really care and you like, you're helping, right? I'm just helping you. Do you
Okay,
think?
if men are dumb enough to fall for that, though, I don't think the patriarchy is going to work. Genuinely.
Wow.
Let me ask you-
we
wait,
gotta
let me
be
ask you a
careful with
question.
that.
Let
Gotta
me
be
ask you a
careful with
question.
that.
What do you think about these fuckboy player guys who
There
will
you
tell
go.
girls about their romantic interest in them in furtherance of fucking them and never talking to them again? Is that if the woman's just dumb enough?
Right.
Well,
then fuck
If she's
her.
just
The men-
dumb
Fuck
enough
her
to
then,
fall
right?
for the fuckboy who's saying, babe, I love you, I want to be with you, and then he fucks her and never talks to her again, is that her being a dumbass?
In some cases, yes.
Sure,
But the
is there
men-
some
no.
culpability on the guy's part
The
for doing
men
that?
are paying a woman. I'm saying if you are paying a woman for attention and you're not smart enough to realize that you are a paying customer for a service, you're not that bright. A man who is giving a woman affection for free and leading her on in the sense that he wants a relationship, there's no transaction there. I think some women are incredibly dumb and let men lead them on for way too long, and they need to, get it
Wait,
together.
Some of these guys are very good at being deceptive.
It's genuine emotional manipulation. Men are paying for a service. When I go to Target and I buy something, I don't think that the cashier is my friend. Like, I realize, well, that's a bad example because you're not really paying the cashier, but like, you're
Okay,
dumb
but-
if you think that you're paying for
But
something.
don't women do the same thing when some guy is like, "Oh, baby, I really love you, and I care about you, and you're the only girl for me." We all know they're trying to fuck. We all know that what men are trying to do is fuck. So you could say the same thing
I've
about
had
women.
men say that to me and be genuine, and I think that's the problem, is that some men are genuine and some aren't, and it's not
Yeah.
always easy to tell who is who.
But
What's
I think
that thing
that
called when you, like, as soon as the guy, what's that thing called when they what?
Love bombing?
Ejaculated in the vacuum.
Boy, yes, thank you.
Okay. What about it?
So maybe the guy is serious or being honest, and then that happens, and then he loses interest.
Well, from the guy's perspective, a guy might look and go, well, okay, look, the average woman wants me to take her on a date. She wants me to pay for the meal. She wants me to come pick her up. It can't be the Waffle House. It has to be somewhere really nice. We've all seen these videos of women demanding like a 5-star restaurant for the first date, that sort of thing. So they're thinking, okay, the average woman wants me to pay to get her time and attention, and like the OnlyFans girl, the stripper, only wants $20. Like,
Well, then that's fine if you want to opt for that, but you should be smart enough to realize that it's not genuine and that you're a paying customer.
I think for a lot of men, they basically look at women and go, okay, you see me as a wallet or an ATM. I see you as a vagina, right? Like, and it is transactional now
yeah,
in the current situation.
but then in that case, why
I
are we
got a
looking down
question.
on the woman for
You
participating?
said you wouldn't date a guy who worked at McDonald's and had no ambitions.
That's just because, like, I have ambitions.
Is it because
myself,
he's
just-
black?
No.
Wait, what?
No.
We guys have no sense of humor. This whole podcast, dude. So, thank you. Though I have this
too many
one on my
Christians
side.
on the
Thank you
panel.
for that. Okay. But okay, so here's the deal.
She's joking, by the way.
Yeah, it's
She's
a joke. It's all a joke. What's wrong with people? And anyway, so the question that I have though, because you see, this is where we have a problem. Women who go on OnlyFans, they make a ton of money, right? And then all of a sudden they start rating themselves value-wise with men this way, and you don't realize what's happening is you're literally getting paid for your vagina. Like that's what's happening,
Well,
right?
I mean, yes.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
It doesn't
Getting
really.
paid for your looks and what you have.
Listen to me. It doesn't really involve a whole lot of skill.
Yeah.
You don't even have to be that good looking, because men actually have a lower standard of looks for. Like they find more women attractive than women find men attractive. You can put some makeup on, do some stuff, do some lighting, all that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there's a kind of inflated sense of what you would actually be matched with, because the guy at McDonald's might actually have an equal level of skills.
I mean,
You
I guess,
understand?
but I'm like, if the guy at
morality.
McDonald's doesn't at least have something he wants to do past that, like I have other things I want to do past my OnlyFans, then I'm like, I don't know, like
Like what?
What do you?
How are we going to transition from the OnlyFans
What do you mean?
to the?
I'm also a tattoo artist. I'm a
Okay.
photographer, and I'm also I do videography, and I also have a clothing brand. I make clothing. Like I do a ton of other things.
Private
So
shop.
and I also I'm smart with my money. I have savings. So if I wanted to go to school and which I've thought about it recently, but if I want to go to school, I can easily go to school and
Do you
I'm
think
set.
that the neck tattoos and the face stuff and the piercings and the OnlyFans might potentially hold you back in life?
I think it depends on what occupation, but also I think as time goes on, people are more accepting and find it, like kids nowadays find it relatable and stuff, like tattoos and all that. Like, so I don't think it's going to be as judged as the old generation does, you know?
But when you're my age, right, and
Yes.
and all the tattoos that are up here start to be down here, you know what I'm saying? Like gravity kicks
if I get
in.
to your age, yes.
Wait,
Well, hopefully
can
you'll
you
get to
straighten
my
your mic?
age. I'm not hoping
Can you
anything happens to
straighten
you.
your mic?
Like you want to live into your 40s and 50s, right? I mean, like that's
I don't know.
the goal.
She has a satanic tattoo on her body.
Well, fair enough. Fair enough.
Well,
I'm just saying. Like,
oh
Hold
yeah.
on, okay.
No, it's funny.